With change in leadership, it's always a challenge because each leader tries to carry forward what the other leader did or to change gears and doing something different, bigger, better.
Without a unified voice and a long-range plan, decisions were made which postponed progress. By 1980, the combined efforts of the previous years forced the board and staff to create a detailed plan supported by specific programs. But the rebuilding process had its growing pains.
Karamu still provides that place, at least to me, of joyful gathering. It has its ups and downs. I attribute it to the swinging of a clock pendulum. It's that you have your point where the pendulum is up, but we have to come back down.
Even after the designation of Karamu as a historic landmark, programs were reduced.
Of course, during those turbulent times, there was financial difficulties. There's always been some financial strains in all of the years that I've been here.
When I had the awesome opportunity and was asked to become the executive director of Karamu, I went to Mrs. Jelliff. She was in her 90s then, up at Fair Hill in that little beautiful garden. She was in her 90s. And I asked for direction and for her advice. And she said to me, Russell and I have seen a dream come true. But good dreams have no end. They continue to reshape themselves to the measure of the need. We got together and began to attempt to reshape the future of Karamu based on the needs of that time.
The idea and what we were doing was so important that they kept pushing through. And the folk that came in that saw what was going on, like the Lewis Stokes, like the Leonard C. Hannas, the folks that just supported Karamu, who believed in what we were doing, that there should be a place where equality was essential, and that we had a great idea.
Cleveland's political and corporate leaders, along with Karamu's staff, rededicated themselves to the city's most treasured national resource.
Come on now, you didn't do nothing wrong.
Whenever you have an institution of great longevity that provides critical services in terms of educational and cultural awareness.
That's when the lights will fade up. All the lights fade back up. Yeah, just like that.
And a place where people can hone their performing arts skills and their artistic skills. That is always a tremendous asset to have in a community, and that makes the life of a politician who serves that community immensely easier.
Through effective planning, reorganization, and a strong desire to succeed, meaningful education and cultural programs were rediscovered, and services like daycare and computer classes were expanded to meet the explicit needs of the community. Whatever weaknesses Karamu has had to overcome, the spirit of its people has never wavered.
We knew we were worth something, and we could learn if we came to Karamu. It was a place where we felt safe and proud.
Right here in this very building, I attended daycare. I thought about the building many times over my life, and there was someone in the main building that always would come over, and all the kids would run up to her and hug her. And I was one of the bashful ones, so I always wanted to say, like, I want to be like her. When I grow up, I want people to like me and run to me and be loving to me the way the kids were to her.
The affection that people have for Karamu is huge. I mean, it's just every day I still learn something about the place, you know, and it's my 10th year. I'm sorry. It's my 10th year here. It's hard to believe I'm here.
You're the only one who cares.
Over the years, Karamu has meant different things to different people, but the consensus has been that Karamu is an important and vital asset to the greater Cleveland community and the nation. From its inception, Karamu has been dedicated to improving the lives of individuals through the pursuit of education and excellence in the arts, while maintaining its historic commitment to African American culture.
Karamu represents a significant landmark. I consider it a civic treasure, and that continues to thrive from a theater standpoint. There's always, great things happening here.
Santa baby, just slip the sable under the tree for me.
Plays that bring joy to families, and when you think about preserving that, that's really the message. I mean, we need to make sure the civic treasure is preserved, and not only just preserved, but that is growing and thriving in this current environment.
Get down, brother, get down. Get down, sister, get down.
It's like a rush that when you get done singing or just getting done saying a whole bunch of lines, the rush of people clapping it gives you more momentum to keep going on.
When he came out on stage, there were so many mixed emotions. And what I mean by that, I didn't know whether to smile, to almost cry, to do what, because his performance was so strong. It's a good feeling that this village is helping to raise this young man to be an outstanding actor, but hopefully an even better person.
I love this place. I have seen so many talented people, children who have grown, and the stories that I've heard about them. And I've experienced many of the plays and musicals, and I am just blown away by the talent.
What about tears when I'm happy? What about wings when I fall? I want you to be a story for me that I can believe in forever. So
It's something about this place, and you always are just drawn back to it. Whether I'm here as a spectator or even just on stage, I just love coming here and just being part of the family and the atmosphere.
When I step on this stage, and I've been on Karamu stage for quite a long time, I can feel a lot of energy in this room alone and in this building. And so the excitement of it is to know that, like Mr. Robert Guillaume, Miss Ruby D, and a few others that came from this establishment, to have a part of that in me, it's a great, great thing.
Goodbye, everybody. We had a good time.
Today, Karamu continues to stay true to its mission, providing services and programs that reflect the needs of the community. The preschool of the Arts Center, established back in 1945, continues to provide arts-focused educational programs and classes led by certified teachers. The center offers year-round full or half-day services to preschoolers ages 3 to 5 and before and after-school services for ages 5 to 14.
Heather, look at the deer. I particularly love the infants and toddlers because you see them, when they're 6 weeks old, and you have the opportunity to develop them into whatever they want to be, but you're giving them the guidance and the love and the nurturing and the educational part as well. And then when you see them come into this main campus as preschool children, you want the best for them. You know where they started out at. You know their families well. We want them prepared so when they go into whatever school system they go into, the teachers will say, that young person came from Karamu.
We find that children that are exposed to the arts at an early age achieve in school with academics. a dance class, help with math, critical thinking, the visual arts, starting with children, the motor skills. So each discipline brings something different for children to relate to in school.
My son, who is now 11 years old, started at Karamu House. He was 6 months old and then grew here until he was 4, and one of the only kids that was reading when he entered kindergarten at the age of 4, by the way. He did not have to wait until he was 5 years old because of the support and the love that he received at Karamu House.
The performing arts, broadly dance, music, and theater, are key elements of culture and engage participants at a number of levels. This engagement through participation, formal and informal education, is often lifelong.
At Karamu, you get like the total full experience like you would have if you were going on Broadway.
The endpoint for performing arts education varies. For some people, it is part of their engagement in their own and others' cultures, such as that of indigenous peoples and folklore. For others, it leads to professional careers up to an elite level. For the latter group, depending on the discipline, the physical demands are such that early entry into training can be essential. This is seen particularly with classical ballet and circus arts.
It's a theater and a whole lot more. I believe it's an anchor in the community. It is a gathering place. It is a place for children to be nurtured, grow, and thrive. A place for actors and stagehands and others to learn their craft and go on to bigger and better things, or just to enjoy the performance that they're in and sign up for the next one.
As Karamu House looks to its future, it will be wise to reflect on the almost 100 years of lessons from the past.
The vision is to be current, to meet the needs of the community, to thrive and grow. And as one of our funders put it to me recently, it would be nice if Karamu returned to its roots. So while we're looking to position ourselves for the next 100 years, we're looking backward in an attempt to look forward to meet the needs of the current community.
It is richly rewarding to know that Karamu has not only played a major role in history, but is positioning itself to address the challenges of the future as it reaches out to welcome and serve the city, region, and nation for the next 100 years.
We have a vision for the neighborhood to create what we call an African American Cultural Arts and Education District, where the center of that vision is Karamu House. It is the glue that will hold it together. So for a lot of reasons, we celebrate Karamu House. We are grateful that they're here, and we recognize that we have to help lift the institution up as we do with other partners in the neighborhood.
Karamu was the first black theater in the United States, and we should be very, very grateful and thankful that it still exists, and just support it.
I hope you will give and give generously, because Karamu House, the community house of Karamu House, is a necessity in our time.
I appeal to you that you would come out and not only just support us with your dollars, but also come and actually participate and sit in the seats and see some of the great things that are happening here at the house, the Karamu House, the joyful place.